Hello and welcome to the second episode of Pork Scratching Review. Today we're going to look at a question posed in the first episode, and that is, what's the difference between a pork scratching and a pork crackling? And more importantly, which one's better? In order to do that, we're going to compare two products, the Openshaw's pork scratching and the Finest pork crackling. Now, you may be wondering, what's the difference between this gold bag of pork scratchings and the black bag of pork scratchings that I looked at last time? Well, the gold packet has got diced pieces. They give you a slightly more uniform size, whereas the black packet is strip cut. That gives you a generally larger piece size, more variety in the pieces, and it does tend to have slightly more meat and fat on it just because those pieces are a little bit bigger. So we'll start by looking at the gold packet of pork scratchings. I'll just tip those into a little bowl. And you can see that they're basically the same product that we looked at last time, a lovely golden colour, decent layer of fat. If we compare that to the pork crackling, we have similar piece sizes, perhaps overall very slightly smaller, and slightly more variety in the colours, but still a nice golden brown. But how does the taste compare? Well, the pork scratching I'm familiar with. It's a good crunch, nice and fatty. Overall, this is the pork snack that I'm familiar with. You probably heard that quite intense snap there as I went through the skin. The pork scratching is it's a double cooked product. That's supposed to give it a slightly softer bite. The pork scratching, on the other hand, single cook, harder bite, slightly more meaty, slightly more fatty, because the crackling loses some of that meat and fat during the cooking process. But let's see how it tastes. I think overall it's a crunchier product. I think that double cooking gives it a lighter texture, and the fat tends to have bubbled and crisped up a little bit. But it's absolutely right that there is a lack of that real hard layer. Overall, it's a more open texture. The flavour is very similar. Clearly, it's the same spice blend, it's the same level of salt. Which is better though? I think to me, the pork crackling is as I say, lighter. It's probably a snack you could just enjoy in the afternoon. It's more like a crisp perhaps. Whereas the pork scratching, that's what I would go for. It's a bit punchier. It's got a nice contrast between the fat and the skin layer, which the crackling I think lacks. Both are delicious, but to me I would say the scratching just edges it. Next time we're going to have a look at some flavoured pork scratchings, which have opened up a whole world of gourmet pork snacks. But do they compare to the original? Let's find out next time.